Hi, I'm Harlem with Glamour, and I'm all about that style. Join me on my YouTube channel. Well, let me tell you, first of all, you know why this show is going to be different? Because I have the special sauce, and that's me. The thing about my show that is going to be different is that I'm going to be talking about style. I'm going to be having some closet talk, and that's closet with a Z, not with the S. And I will be interviewing people from my neighborhood and beyond. I'm running up in every place. And you know what? We're going to have a bunch of fun because the world is so serious today. Don't you need to smile? Well, come join me because I will make you smile. Because remember, it's all about that Harlem with Glamour style. Hi, I'm Harlem with Glamour Style, and today I'm on my way to the Red Rooster to interview Nate Lucas. Stay tuned. Nate Lucas, musician, entrepreneur, educator. Nate Lucas is a multifaceted talent who has carved a remarkable path in the world of music. He wears many hats. Accomplished musician, a legendary jazz and R&B organist and keyboard player. Nathan is known for his mastery of the Hammond B3 organ. Band leader, he leads the dynamic Nate Lucas All-Stars, a group renowned for its versatility, playing everything from jazz to contemporary music. Early life and influences. Born and raised in New York City, Nathan's musical journey began at the tender age of 7 at the Manor House Workshop. Initially drawn to guitar under the guidance of Skeeter Best, his interest shifted to piano at 8, where he studied with Madam Washington. It was his father, the legendary saxophonist Max the Sax Lucas, who introduced him to the world of jazz. Throughout his career, Nathan has shared the stage with jazz greats like Russell Malone, Lou Donaldson, and Etta Jones. His current groups showcase his versatility, performing in trios, quartets, and quintets. A Harlem fixture. For over a decade, Nathan has been a mainstay at Harlem's iconic venues, playing for 10 years at the legendary Lenox Lounge and currently performing weekly at the Red Rooster with Nate Lucas and the All-Stars. I'm there mostly every Sunday, so catch me at Nate Lucas and the All-Stars. He's a son, father, brother. Beyond performance, a legacy of education. Nathan's dedication extends beyond performing. He has served the community as a music instructor at Jazz Mobile of New York and Faith Hope and Charity Christian School, mentoring countless children musically and academically. Harlem legend, a musician, entrepreneur, educator who continues to inspire and enrich the world of music. Hi, I'm here with Nate Lucas. You know, Nate, you've done a lot of things, and I'm very, very impressed. I coined the phrase, being a big deal and remaining humble is a damn big deal. What keeps you humble, Nate?
God. God keeps me humble, and throughout my life, anytime I stop being as humble as I should be, God would humble me again. And I think COVID should have humbled all of us. At some point, we realize how powerless we are, and how small we really are in a big spectrum of things.
Who is Nate Lucas?
Nate Lucas is a parent. He's a father. He's a son. He's an uncle. He's a cousin. It's like everyone else. I found myself in music, and so I found a career, and I'm doing some things. Lived up as a community guy. I helped the community, our children. I helped them. Yeah, pretty basic. Pretty basic.
I love it. You started with the guitar at a young age, and then you switched to the piano, eventually playing the Hammond. Tell us about that.
Well, my parents wanted me to play an instrument, and the guitar was the first instrument they put me on. There was a legendary guitarist named Skeeter Best, my dad's friend, so he took him first. And we couldn't afford a guitar, but we had a piano at home, so that's how I switched to piano. I went to the Manor House on 106th Street. Gloria Denard was the founder of the Manor House School of Music, and I went there. And I practiced and played piano for years. Then I discovered the rest of a teenage boy's life.
Your father was a saxophonist. How did he influence your musical journey?
Well, it's funny. Young, he didn't, and I moved. Let me finish the first story, because I stopped playing as a teenager, and then I was incarcerated, and I made a deal with God. If you get me out of this, I'll follow whatever path you put me in. Which leads to that next question, where my dad actually influenced me, because my dad was my favorite person on the planet.
I love it.
And I just wanted to do something to be near him, so that in turn made me want to play an instrument. And because I was ahead of the game with the keys, it was cool. But then when I heard a guy named Bernie Thompson playing the Hammond organ at La Femelle, and my spirit said that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So it was when he provided it, because then when we left the La Femelle that night, and when I took him back home and spent the night at his house, a guy came 8 o'clock that next morning selling an organ.
Wow.
8 hours later.
Lucky God.
Yeah, it all came full circle.
Wonderful. What advice would you give aspiring future musicians?
Well, I think that the advice I would give would pretty much go for all of them. And the first thing I would say is that jazz is a spirit. It's not a music or an art form. It's more than that. It's a spiritual form, and spirits never die. And in saying that, there's no such thing as old music. And like most of the young cats you hear now, they, for some reason, they believe that jazz started with, John Coltrane. And there was so much more music before John Coltrane, so much more beautiful music. It wasn't just that it was music, it was beautiful music before Coltrane. So I would encourage them to actually go back and really study the history of the music, especially black musicians, because this is your history. This is your history, so don't cut your history in half by just starting with John Coltrane or starting with George Benson. Go back to Louis Armstrong, go back all the way back to Louis, go back to the blues, go back to all that cotton field music that we've all created, because it was something that led up to R&B, funk. It was a whole progression to get to Beyonce, and now I guess when I won't even name some age of it. Some of it's not music.
Outside of music, what are some of your other interests?
Charity. I love charity. I'm big on that. I think for human rights. That's a very near and dear topic for me. And the rights of human beings.
I know you love black people.
I do.
I know that. We know you love black people.
I love us.
I love us too.
Oh man, because we're dope. But dope, you know, and we have to pass that down to our youth, that they have to understand that we built this country with our bare hands. No instructions, no tools. We built this country with our bare hands, under duress of being sold, raped, murdered. And we still built this whole entire, the greatest nation in the world.
So you played with some musical giants. Who stands out as one of your most memorable collaborations?
My father.
Of course.
No brainer. My dad, he's a no brainer, man. But I mean, I played with so many great musicians. It's funny because some of the guys that I could name, like two of my favorite, more recent collaborations, when I say recent, pre-COVID, like a Eric Johnson or Fred McFarlane. Those are two people that I learned so much about music from. Now, they were guys like Gary Moore and my dad and those guys. I learned a lot about jazz. Then I met like the Eric Johnsons and the Gary Moores, the Najee Allen Gums. Did all of that stuff with Phyllis Hyman. And they taught me more about music on a whole. They opened up that window that said, you know, don't pigeonhole yourself. Play it all. So, and it's a plethora. The Mel Davises, the Danny Mixes. I can go on. I could go on.
You mentored so many young musicians. What is the most rewarding aspect of teaching?
First of all, I don't teach as much as a lot of other. Like, I don't have a school or anything like that, but I will sit down with musicians all the time. And most of the musicians around me, they learn the way I learn. They learn on the bandstand. That's the way the cats, you know, learn. Most of them didn't go to school. They would go to, you know, some conservatory. You know, most of them, they just got on the band. Even the ones that went to the conservatories in the school, they still came to the bandstand and got their ass kicked. Because that's the training ground for what we do, the bandstand. And for me, it's always that moment when I see a young guy who's been working on something and trying to figure something out, and that moment when they get it, and it's a smile and it's that light bulb that happens at the same time. And I don't want to embarrass them, so I look away and I look down and I smile. I say, yes. And then
Got him.
got it. Exactly. And then,
Got him.
and they'll come on a break and they'll start, and you see the difference in the way they're now talking to you, because now they feel like I'm one of the cats. I show off. I think that's it.
Listen, Nate, you know how I like to stay fresh dip, and I always admired you for your sense of style. Even when other cats was in a baseball cap, and I always see you with your signature flower, your hat. Where do you get your sense of fashion from?
I think more so my dad. Like I say, my dad was my hero, and see, they come from. My dad was born in 1910.
Wow.
So he was 58 when I was born. So they came from an era where they were suited and booted. Every day they were suited and booted. Like this is a generation of men who they wore a suit to the beach, and then changed at the beach and put on their swim trunks and everything, and then showered at the beach and put a suit back on to come home. I mean, you just didn't see them not dressed. Right, that was just part of it. I remember I met Lockjaw Davis real quick. Eddie Lockjaw Davis. And one of the cats, monster saxophonist. His hair was fried and dyed, laid to the side,
baby.
and his suit was impeccable, and his shoes, everything was lined up perfectly. And my dad said, "Hey, son, this is Lockjaw Davis." Right? He reached out and he said, "Call me Jaws." And then, Jaws was the shark for us.
Yes.
But, and I didn't know what he did, but just looking at him, I knew that he was a bad man. Whatever, if he sweeps the streets, he's the greatest street sweeper on the planet. Because look at him. You don't look that good. You don't dress that good if you're not great at what you do. So,
I just want to tell you, I love you. We need more men, baby.
Let me tell you,
you know,
that is the highest compliment that you could pay me. Calling me a man. There's nothing that matters more to me in this life than being a man. Being dead is less important. Being a man.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Lynn?
Start to fade out, fade into the sunset. I don't plan to do this the rest of life. I don't want to work forever. You know, and I know a lot of musicians do, but listen, I don't want to work forever. You know, I want to ride my motorcycle. That's what I want to do. I want to just travel the country on my motorcycle, tell war stories. I want to be an old man the right way. I want to talk junk. I don't want to be working every night. I'm not saying I won't work at all.
Nate, you know how I feel about you. Thank you so much. Everybody, give a round of applause to Nate Lucas. I love you.
Hey, let me give you some good news before you go. Yesterday, Joe Biden sent me a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yay! We love the news.
Yesterday, I got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
What?
President of the United States.
That's amazing. Listen, you know.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe Biden.
You're all right with me.
And you're all right with me too. You know, that's why I decided to do this channel, and I wanted to do it in Harlem because, you know, as well, I've done a lot of things, and I've had my hand in hats and wigs and a lot of stuff, right?
You've done a lot.
But I'm not perfect. We all are trying to be perfect in an imperfect world. But one thing no one can deny about me is that I love black people. And I love people in general, but I love black people, and to me, it's not what you talk, but it's how you walk. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I just got to say thank you once again, Nate Lucas. You know I love you.
I love you.
I'm here.
Your big asset is that you have such a strong sense of community, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just your community.
Yeah.
You have a strong sense of community, so that if you're in Brooklyn,
yeah,
that's your community. You know, that's dope. That's dope.
I always
so
like to laugh and say,
you.
You know, I always like to laugh and say, listen, I'm a chameleon. If I'm in corporate, I'm in corporate. But if I'm on the street, if a guy's digging in a garbage can, he's hugging me, and I might be in there digging something. What's in there?
Right.
You know, because the
community.
thing that people love about me is I'm authentic. That, you know, people are people, and I love all people, and I especially love you, and thank you for granting.
This is good for you. Congratulations.
Thank
Seriously.
you. Thank you.
This is perfect.
Thank you
for you because you take over rooms anyway.
No, I don't.
Come on.
No, let me get under the table.
You take over rooms anyway. This is perfect for you. So I appreciate you and I love you.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you, Nate.
Our cameraman is the best. Hey, I'm Nate Lucas. This is Harlem with Glamour. My sister. We're here at the Red Rooster right now. My band is here every Sunday. We have a show from 1 to 4, then a second band from 5 to 9. You guys come on out and check us out. We're also at Marcus Live at American Dream every Friday in New Jersey. And we're always around, so just look us up. The Sounds of Harlem on Instagram, on Nate Lucas, All Stars on Facebook, and follow, share, and subscribe to Harlem with Glamour. Peace.
All right.
Today's episode of Harlem with Glamour Style is sponsored by Crave's Vegan Food. Thank you to Nate Lucas and the Red Rooster.